Yo, what's up guys, it's Zach. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking another look at a besieged covert research facility. So these are found in Lowsec and they can drop some spicy loot. You've probably seen a few of these on the channel in the past. I've done quite a few in the Tengu and the Varga and also in a super cheap 30mm Vexor. That actually works. And today's one we're going to be using a solo stealth bomber, and the bomber in question is a Manticore, if you can see the outline of it. And so the cool thing about stealth bombers is they get to use torpedoes, which is really nice for frigate hulls, and they can warp cloaked, which is cool. So the idea is we're all 10mm fit, so oversized prop mod. And this is going to allow us to just basically speed tank the rats. So what happens is, if we just spin the camera around a little bit, there's a couple of things. I'll just actually go through the whole site and how it works, just in case anyone hasn't seen these before. So this thing here is the Garista Research and Trade Hub, and this is what gives you the loot. So what's going to happen is, if we get within 50 kilometers of the trade hub here, all the rats are going to spawn. So we'll get 2 waves, and it is Mortis Legion rats, so it is pretty hard. If you get close to them, they do web you, they do long point you, and they do like all sorts of EWAR as well. It's best just to either be in a super tanky ship that can just literally orbit this 500, like the Tengu, Varga, etc., or either speed tank it or just keep at range. Now there is a couple of things as well extra. If we just look above it here, this is the component facility. Well, this doesn't usually carry much loot, and from this you can get some minerals and some other little goodies like the more research tools and things like that, which is worth a little bit, sort of between, I'd say, 3 and 10 mil. So once all of the rats are dead, you can loot that, but this component assembly array you can blow up at any time and loot. But obviously in our ship here, we don't want to be going into the rats. So the idea is, with this ship, I did have tank fitted on this a little while ago, and I was being more of a little bit of a sniper, but I came across a channel from Jordanus, and he's only got one video, and it's doing this in the like a stealth bomber as well, so pretty much the same fit as his. All I did was swap my extender to a cargo scanner. Now the whole point of the scanner is we can actually get within 70 of this and scan the loot and see if it's actually worth the time running, because solo this takes about 14 to 16 minutes, or a little bit less if you're super lucky with the spawns, because the spawns are RNG as well as to what ship types you get. So basically what we need to do, we just look on the probe scanner here, and it's just an anomaly. We just need to warp to this at 100. Now bear in mind, that's the beacon here, which you do actually land at 100 to, but the actual trade hub and the component assembly array are like offset. Imagine if we'd warped from mod gate here, would land quite far away from this hub, so we'd probably have to just like decloak and burn there. But again, the rats don't spawn until you're 50 in, and obviously we are in Lowsec, so we need to watch out for locals. I've been killed like twice trying to make this video already, so it's been a bit of a pain. Usually I don't run these with people in local, but just for the sake of this, and hopefully we'll get some good loot. I did get an amazing drop yesterday, which I'll show you shortly. Basically the idea is we're going to scan this. Let's just decloak and lock it up. See if it's actually worth our time to run. Hopefully we'll have something nice in there. So not a lot, unfortunately. This is on the lower end of the spectrum. So 13.5 mil, which is pretty crap really, let's be honest. And we'd probably get a few extra mil from that. So what I would say, if you've got like a couple of people doing this, if you've got 2 of these stealth bombers, you can do these in less than 5 minutes with like the really strong that way. I would probably do this then, but like if I was just out by myself like farming this, I wouldn't do this one because it's not really worth it. If I just bring up my assets from the other day, so this is from like 3 or 4 covert research facilities. I think it was about 410 mil in here, but the big one was this implant. Now the implants, there's all sorts of implants drop from this, and I got really lucky with this one because it's a Harvest Delta. It's worth 360 mil, so it's just RNG loot at the end of the day, but implants are pretty common with this as well. But usually on the low end, I tend to find the loot's probably worth like 30 to 40 million, even if you don't get any like BPCs or implants. So yeah, you've just got to work out if it's worth your time, if it's worth a risk, or etc. I mean, the ship itself, let's just take a quick look here. It's only worth like 60 mil. One crucial thing I will say, let's get our application mod switched on there. You don't want to approach this straight on and then have to establish your orbit. You just want to set your orbit to 40 kilometers. So right click, set default on here, or 41. And then just literally orbit And there you go. Because you don't want your ship to slow down and have to like realign itself, because the 10mm are really like make your ship super thick and like really hard to turn. So we just want to get that orbit. I mean, if we put the tactical overlay, we can see where the ship's going to be going. So it might slow down just a tiny bit here. But as soon as we hit 50, we'll see the message in local and the rats will come. And we'll probably quickly go over the spawns as well. So here they come. Hopefully it'll just be a few cruisers, which are the Orthruses. Alright, so we've got 2 cruisers and a battleship, so that's pretty good for a first spawn. The easiest spawn I've seen is 3 cruisers. I want to kill them first. So I have got a decent orbit here. We're all going pretty fast. It'll probably spit your orbit out at, what are we now, 42? You'll probably end up going like 47 to 50k, like orbiting with a oversized prop. The speed will go up pretty high. The range on the torps is actually pretty good, even with the rage. So we do like 64 kilometers. So the problem I did find in the one I was using with the buffer and the more snipey fit, as I was like orbiting further out, I wasn't going as fast around, if that makes sense. So the battleships were easily being able to track us a lot of the time, so the tank was failing pretty much. So if you just like get within 40, you've got like a really, really good velocity. And you're close enough to out-track their guns. Right, just as the last ship from the first wave's going to die, just get ready to reload your ammo. And that'll save you doing that like midway through the wave. You gotta ping your D-scan as well, just to see if anything's coming. So that's not a bad one as well. Sometimes you get really unlucky and get all battleships here, which does like kind of suck a little bit. And just as these guys are slowly dying, we'll quickly have a look at the fit, because I know the rigs don't show on that list there. So we've got small bay loading accelerator just for 15% more fire rate, ancillary current router just to help fit, and we've also got a micro auxiliary power core for the power grid, because this 10mm is obviously oversized, so we need like as much power as we can, because it's meant to go on like a cruiser. We've got the covert ops cloaking device, 3 torpedo launchers, cargo scanner as mentioned, the missile guidance computers, so you can switch these scripts out for the range ones if need to, if you're not like as high skilled on them. And that'll give you plenty range to start killing these things. Alright guys, that's all the NPCs dead, so all we need to do now is blow up the assembly array, and then we just need to loot this thing here, which is the trade hub. This is where most of the loot comes from. So there you go. So we only got 13.5 mil like we just scanned, so we've got some covert research tools which are the worth, and some skins which are only 30 days. So not great on the loot, I'm afraid. Let's not overshoot it. Yeah, so minerals and some tools. So not great all around really. So yeah, you just gotta scan it and see what you think is going to be worth it. But I'm really enjoying the bomber for this. It just makes it super easy. And because you're 10mm and you're not like sitting on the button, you can get a good chance of getting away from things, you know, if stuff does come. But you just need to watch that someone isn't cloaked sitting waiting for the last battleship to die or NPC to die, and then it'll uncloak right next to this thing as you're looting it. So that's a bit of a trap that you need to be aware of. So keep an eye on local. Obviously keep spamming your D-scan. I'll overlay some footage of me and Gale Mash doing it as a pair, and just to see what you think and see how much faster it is. But in the meantime guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.